Hello, hello! Success Coach Amy here with another flaming hot topic from Blaze. Building a life with action, zen, and energy. Look at me. I have a temporary set. I'm so excited. I was able to bring in some fun personal things. So this is a beautiful vase that my mother painted for me for my birthday. And this gorgeous black, white, and gold treasure is from Ella, my 13-year-old. So super excited. And if you know me, then you know I do not do live plants or flowers on any level. So I have my fabulous Dollar Tree flowers. Totally love that. So exciting news to share. It is November already. Holy cow, the year's like gone. So it is November of 2022, and I decided a couple of weeks ago that I'm going to launch a podcast as well. Except this podcast will be just a little bit different. It'll still be talking about a lot of the parenting and family topics and all of that I do here on YouTube, but I'm calling it Chit Chat and Tchotchkes. So, very Jewish, I know, I love it. So basically, because I love to talk, and I'll talk about anything, which is chit chat, and tchotchkes, which basically is a Yiddish word that is, it's basically trinkets or just little things that you collect. So even though this is a vase and it has a purpose, it's still a tchotchke to me. Even my flowers are tchotchkes. So that will be coming soon. I'll keep you posted on that. And what I also was thinking about was there's actually another chair just like this one to my left. I think I might start having a guest here and there, and we will just chit chat about whatever topic that person wants to talk about. So again, if you have any topics that we should tackle regarding parenting and family and personal development and pretty much anything on that level, make sure you send me an email, successcoachamy@gmail.com, or make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and send me a message that way. Send me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what your topics are that are relevant in your family right now. The coolest thing that I want to express is the fact that this podcast, the podcast and this YouTube channel is basically for anyone. So if you are a family with young children, you can benefit. If you're a family with older children, you can benefit. If you are the younger child or the teenager or the young adult, you could benefit. It's just really basic life skill topics. So on that note, again, welcome to my new set. I hope you will enjoy the background. We'll see what other tchotchkes I will bring in over time. I have Ella, who was helping me with my set design, do some painting of things. So we'll have lots of new tchotchkes running around every so often. So we will be looking forward to her artwork additions. So in the meantime, wow, had a lot going on in my own family. And it made me realize that it's still such a disconnect. And I've talked about this before. There's still a disconnect between families and the school district and the resources that are available in your community. Now, there's obviously different names for agencies in each community, and you just have to find the right ones. So sometimes you have to go through your Department of Social Services. Sometimes you have to go through your county mental health office. Sometimes you can just ask your pediatrician or your GP, your general practitioner doctor, and find out what those resources are. What's interesting is I will not be surprised if you ask some of those people for other resources and they don't know. It seems quite common that a lot of resources that are there to help children and families don't always connect with each other. And it's not necessarily something that's done on purpose, it's just that they just don't work together all the time. And they should. It should be this incredible coalition of all of these agencies that are there to help families, from prenatal all the way to college and adults. There should be this connection of all of these agencies and businesses and all of these resources. So what I was running into was, we live in a fairly rural, smaller community. Within 45 minutes, we have 3 quite large cities that would have more resources. Gas went back up again. So again, we're in November of 2022, and gas is back up to $3.60 a gallon. So it had been down to just over $3 a gallon. We were all so excited. So driving to these resources is so costly. And if you are a working class family, even if you consider yourself middle class, upper, lower middle class, whatever you consider yourself, if you either are living paycheck to paycheck, or you just don't find that you still have enough at the end of the month to budget for extra gas, for extra co-pays, for all the different things that you need with these resources to help your children, whether it's a different food diet that your child needs to go on, or again, these other therapies, whatever it is so difficult when you're told you make too much money to get Social Security or food stamps or just help on any level. You're like, but my child needs this, our family needs this, and I don't have that. I don't have those extra funds. So where do you come up with money? So this is something I've been learning about and researching over the last couple of months, trying to help those families who are in that in-between stage. So we make good money, our tax return says we make good money, but yet we don't qualify for any extra that will help the child. So Ella's been going through a lot of challenges over the last couple of months, and I found some great resources. But again, I am driving, I'm driving 62 miles round trip twice a week for some of her therapies. I know that I need to have her see a nutritionist, which would be great for the whole family, but no one takes our insurance. So now I need to go outside of our insurance company, outside of the network, to see not just who's available, but what are they going to charge me? It's not necessarily the copay because they don't go through insurance. So do I have to pay the whole bill up front and can get reimbursed a percentage later? All this research. There's not necessarily one place that's going to give you all of this information, especially if it's not something you've been dealing with since your child was a baby. As your child gets older, you start to realize all of these different things that you will need to make them successful, to make your family successful. So I have been denied Social Security, which you would think, again, is a positive thing, that my husband and I make too much money, except that, again, the gas prices and all the co-pays and everything, it's so much. And so I start thinking, should I get a second job? I don't want to leave my day job, mainly because I like what I do. I work with young families, and this is a topic that some of them are dealing with. So I actually like the fact that I'm in the thick of it with them. And I do explain that to some of my families that I've been with for quite a while. Like, I'm dealing with what you're dealing with. Even though your child is 4 and mine's 13, doesn't matter. I'm still going through all the things that you are. So let's talk about it. Let's brainstorm. Let's make those phone calls together and find out what else we can do to help each other, to help our kids. In the meantime, again, still struggling with some things. My job is wonderful in that the agency I work for is so family oriented and very, very flexible. I've had to call in where I've come in 2 hours late. One time I actually just called in sick, which you would think, oh, you had to call in sick once in a while. I think I've called in sick twice this whole year, and that's a lot for me because it had to do with the kids. But it's not a big deal. I just notify my director, put in a slip of paper the day I come back, and it's no big deal because they know that family comes first. We work with families, so why wouldn't our families take priority, take precedence? Because if we can't do our job, then we're not helping anybody. So we have to take care of ourselves and our own families before we can take care of the families that are within our agency, that we're helping in the community. So I do like my job. I do want to stay there, but I work for a not-for-profit, and 9 times out of 10, anytime you say that, you know, oh yeah, you don't get paid well. It's just a thing. You just don't get paid well when you're government funded through grants and local opportunities, but it's such good work, and I really do enjoy it. So again, back to square one. Do I get a second job? I think I've talked a little bit about Roger, my 6-month-a-year second job. I work with a local author, and he's a snowbird, so he goes to Florida for 6 months a year and then comes back up to central New York for 6 months a year during the spring, summer, and into fall. So I do have a part-time job half the year. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. I've got 3 teenagers, an adult child, so still need mom, which is fine, and just still need help and assistance and guidance, and that's what I'm here for. But again, I want to be able to know that because now Ella has all these challenges, that I can help take care of her, and that does take extra finances. So I have been talking to people, my husband's been talking to people, and just saying, hey, you know, I think I remember your child went through A, B, and C. You know, what did you do? Who did you talk to? And even if it was 10 years ago, it doesn't matter. The topic of, not necessarily the topic, but just the specifics of an agency or a business that can help you doesn't change, even if the employees change. The basis doesn't change. So even if you worked with one agency 10 years ago and those people have all left, and maybe they even changed their trajectory a little bit, that's fine. But their goal is still going to be the same, how and how they're helping the children, how they're helping the families. So my husband and I have been making phone calls and talking to people over the last couple of weeks and trying to find other assistance. And in the meantime, not neglecting the other kids and ourselves and the house and all of that. So it's a lot. So I have noticed that also trying to navigate through being in the sandwich generation. You know, my parents are doing okay, but still struggling with some health issues. My in-laws are doing really well right now, but again, you know, great now, but be proactive. Think about planning for the future. How are we going to help take care of all of them? So I'm going to start sending the grandkids over to each of the grandparents' houses on weekends, and what can they do for you? Whether it's move some furniture, help clean out a closet, pick up sticks and rake leaves in the backyard, those kinds of things that my kids are definitely capable of, old enough to do and handle. Maybe start grocery shopping with them. Hopefully the twins will be driving in a few months. That would be super, super helpful. And just, again, trying to be a family. This is why I didn't move away from our community right now, because all 4 grandparents are still here, and I want my kids to spend as much time with them as possible. So I think with that, I'm actually going to stop. That'll go into a whole nother topic for another day. So in the meantime, I will keep you posted on my podcast of Chit Chat and Tchotchkes and let you know when that will be premiering and where you can find that. But in the meantime, just enjoy these videos, and again, let me know what topics you want to talk about, and I will see you next time. Wishing you health, wealth, happiness, and freedom. Take care.